Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Cat Sports. Today is our Lions versus Saints pregame. Go over the game. If I had to say anything this week's a must-win for the Lions.
I would say the next two games are must wins for the Lions. Only because their last four games are going to be tough. It's going to be tough that you got to win. I certainly feel, you don't deserve the division if you can't at least split with the Vikings. And I'm hoping that the Vikings, still have a couple losses in them before we face them. But we'll see. They seem to be coming on, even though that last game kind of made me feel good about the fact that maybe Dobbs is just it isn't the real deal, and maybe we don't have as much to worry about. But these next two games are big.
The Lions are favored this week, 56%. I don't know what the line is. I would have to go back to check the line on the game. It's 4.5. So they should. I think they should win. It might be a little bit more of a battle. I did say this was one of the games I thought you would lose just because you're in New Orleans. No matter how bad Derek Carr is playing and how beat up the Saints are, because they do have a lot of their players are coming off injuries. Most of their wide receivers are somewhat hurt.
Right.
So
I was heard they're all three out. They're starting or out. That's changed. I don't know.
Not from what ESPN is saying, but they're also full of crap a lot of times. So I can't fully trust ESPN. But from what we would hear, there's been a lot of injuries. They're going to be beat up. So it was the same thing when it came to the Packers. You thought you could beat them because they were all beat up, and then you ended up losing to them, and you were at home.
Right. I don't trust any of that stuff.
So again, you should be able to beat them. Anzalone is your only starter that's definitely not going to probably play this week. He is doubtful, but he's probably not going to play. I don't expect him to play.
Well, right. And this gives Jack Campbell a chance to show what he's made of.
You're also
injuries are part of the game. This boils down to the trenches again. I mean, I think the last two games we had a lot of problems, and it's basic stuff. Your O line has to protect Jared Goff. You have to give him time. That's where we win or lose games, is in the trenches. On the defensive side, we're not very good in the trenches. So we have a lot of issues, but we play a lot of crap teams, and so we get lucky now and then. But our defense needs to show up the next couple of games, at least somewhat, to keep them in it.
Jonah Jackson is likely to be back this week. He is questionable, but he's been doing full practices all this week, so I expect him to be playing. Maybe he won't be. He's not out for sure. The only one on the injury report that was out was Hendon Hooker, and we know he's not playing anyways. But he finally hit our injury report after being activated this week, so he will be on the injury report
about that
for the future. We'll see if he even hits the roster before the end of the year, but I doubt it. But for the most part, expect Anzalone to be the big guy that's out, and that he will he's probably not going to play this week. He might play next week since he's already on the injury report. Is doubtful. Wrist.
He's got a wrist injury.
He has a wrist injury, but I don't expect him to be injured for too long. He probably will be back against the Bears next week. But it's not going to be an easy game. I think it's going to be close. Part of me wants to even predict that they're going to lose this week and be 8-4. You have to at least go 3-3 through the last 6 games, I think, to stand a chance.
Oh, without a doubt. Like I said, this will be a huge disappointment if we don't get to 11 wins. We should get to 12. I really think this should be a 4-2 stretch. If you're a legit team. If you're not, you're not. But you should be beating up on the Saints. You should win against the Bears, and we need you to split against the Vikings at least. I understand the Broncos are going to be tough. They are riding. Maybe we'll catch them. At a good time. Maybe their streak will run out. Eventually, it's got to. But Sean Payton he's a hell of a coach to do what he's doing over there.
He did a decent turnaround with them. But Saint stats, the passing leader, Derek Carr's their quarterback. So far, he's 244, for 372 this season, 2,500 yards, 10 TDs, and 5 interceptions. So
Yeah.
not amazing numbers. So he shouldn't be throwing all over you. But again, it could happen. Kamara leading rusher, 119 carries for 457 yards, 2 TDs, and Olave is their top wide receiver, 63 receptions, 707
Is Jamal Williams going to play?
yards, and 3. Well, yeah, he'll play. He's like their third
I
string
don't think
running
we
back
hear
at this
much
point.
talk about who's better, him or David Montgomery anymore. I think we kind of know the answer to that question.
Montgomery hasn't done as not Montgomery. Williams hasn't done as much in New Orleans as he has for us.
He's missed like 3 or 4 games or something like that. He is not. I don't even know if he has a touchdown.
I don't think he does.
That's pretty sad.
I don't think he does this year. Hold on, let me.
So all those people who thought we should have kept him,
he probably was played it like he would if we would have kept him because we would have used him the same way. But New Orleans didn't need him the same way we needed him.
No.
So it was.
He got a lot of situational touchdowns with us, so that's fine. That's what he was good at. But I think Montgomery's far more dynamic.
But our stats so far this year: Jared Goff 275 for 405. He has thrown just over 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns to 8 interceptions so far this year. So he should hit maybe 25 TDs this year.
Okay,
I could see that happening. Maybe. Montgomery, 133 carries for 648 yards, 9 TDs. So he's doing pretty good this year.
Yeah,
that's good for your fantasy team.
Yeah, he's been very good.
And St. Brown's still our leading receiver. He's going to hit 1,000 yards this week.
Well, I'm just hoping that they right the ship. I'm hoping, every team has a blip. Every team has a rough spot. So I'm just hoping this is ours. I'm not expecting us to go, like I said, I'm not a guy who thinks this is a Super Bowl team. I do expect them to win the division against the 3 teams that they're, vying with. To me, there's no excuse for not winning this division. No. And if they don't, it'll be a huge disappointment. So we really need this win this week. Really need the Chicago Bear game, which will be very tough too, outside at Soldier Field.
Yes. Final score prediction, I'm going to predict 27-24. I'll go with the Lions. I'll stay loyal. I won't say they'll lose this week. I'll say 27-24 Lions.
I'm going to say I it's hard to even predict anymore because really, but I will say it will be a 24-20 Lion victory.
Dang. You're also keeping it close.
Oh, yeah. I don't think the Lions are going to have a blowout win.
No, they probably
the
won't.
rest of the way in. I would think it's more likely we'll get blown out.
And if you're wanting to go to this game on Vivid Seats, it's $39.
I heard that. I have a few friends who are going down there, and it's relatively cheap, which is
compared to what I had to spend to go to the game at the end of the year.
Yeah, is affordable. What the heck, man? Why is it so cheap?
Probably because they have a losing record.
Yeah, but New Orleans is a beautiful city. People love going there. It seems like it'd be fun.
But surprisingly, it's cheap. And the future consideration to going there now that it's only a $40 game ticket.
Yeah, for all the money we spent on gas, I mean, we'd save money.
But yeah, so hopefully the Lions win this week. Get over the injury bug. Hopefully make it out this week. No injuries. Get going to Chicago next week in the cold weather game. Fully healthy. That being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment. Share the video. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.